Yeah.
Welcome back to the presentation podcast. I'm Clea.
I'm Laura.
And I'm Mira.
And for today's podcast, we decided to interview our principal and vice principal.
So we asked them a number of questions, some just general get to know stuff, and then as well some things about their specific roles in the school and what they hope to do in the future.
What is your name?
My name is Gillian Murphy.
Where are you from?
I'm from Ballinasloe.
What is your favourite colour?
Blue.
Do you have siblings?
I do.
Do you have children?
I do.
When is your birthday?
April.
What is your star sign?
Aries.
And what other jobs have you had?
I was a butcher and car hire assistant, and I worked in petrol stations and a hotel.
Do you have any hidden talents?
I can roll my tongue.
What did you want to be growing up?
I wanted to be an auctioneer.
What's one thing students would be surprised to find out about you?
I can do handstands.
How long have you been in the school?
Oh, girls. 17, 18 years? Since 2004.
And how long have you been vice principal?
This is my 6th year, but I was out for 1 year on maternity leave.
How was it for you being acting principal last year?
Challenging, but very rewarding.
Do you think you would enjoy being principal full time?
I think I would, but just not at this stage of my life.
Why did you want to be a vice principal?
I suppose I could, at the time of my, at that stage of my life, I felt I needed a change, and when that position came up, I just went for it.
What subjects did you teach?
I taught English, geography, mostly, yeah.
What's one thing that students do that annoys you?
Forget locker keys.
As vice principal, what do you think is the phrase that you say most often?
Put up your mask.
And what is your favourite part about being vice principal?
Meeting the girls every day.
What is your name?
My name is Barry O'Shea.
Where are you from?
I'm from Ballyvihan originally. I'm from just off Friars Walk, so I was born and raised around there, yeah.
What's your favourite colour?
Blue.
Do you have any siblings?
I have 2 brothers.
Do you have any children?
I have 4 children.
When is your birthday?
The 11th of April.
What is your star sign?
Aries.
What other jobs have you had apart from teaching?
I was a HSCL for the past 4 years, Homeschool Community Liaison Coordinator. Before that I worked as a butcher, as a builder, as a barman, and I worked security in pubs and stuff as well, so like all those kind of fun jobs.
Do you have any hidden talents?
Do I have any talents at all? I'm not sure, like, you know. Let me see. I've interest in running, and I like reading. I'm not sure if they're talents, like, you know, but I don't play music, unfortunately, or anything like that, but I love listening to it.
What did you want to be growing up?
Teacher, believe it or not. Always wanted to be a teacher. Yeah, yeah.
What's one thing students would be surprised to find out about you?
I love rugby. I used to play rugby when I was a kid, and I follow rugby still, so it's one of my interests. Yeah, yeah.
What would you say are the joys of being the principal?
The school is a joy, the students are a joy, so it's a pleasure supporting the students and the staff, and ensuring that this school, which is vibrant and incredibly active, grows from strength to strength. So it's an absolute privilege and a pleasure, and I love being here. Yeah.
What would you say are some of the challenges of being principal?
I suppose that's a tricky question, to be honest, like, you know. like there are lots of obvious challenges in terms of like just managing time. I mean, I suppose that's the key one, that the job is very busy and there's lots to be done. But it's like my Leaving Cert students, like, you know, like they're very busy as well. So it's the same thing. And like always, we have to learn time management and prioritization and getting things done. I suppose that the other thing as well is that like it's a great, you know, it's a great school. It's just making sure that it remains this wonderful success that it already is. You know.
Why did you go for principal?
Again, because I'm from around here and I've lived around here all my life, you know, so I've seen the impact that this school has had on people locally in terms of the ability to transform and support people and support them in their ambitions in terms of getting into third level and making really important or making really significant career choices for themselves. So it's about being part of that, like, you know, playing my part to ensure that this school continues to be a very effective and important presence in Ballybehan and the locality.
Why did you want to be homeschool liaison?
For the same reason, like it's homeschool liaison was a fantastic opportunity to create links between the school and the wider community, which was brilliant, and the school benefited massively from it, and to meet parents and to kind of like and for me to learn from parents and for me to offer some help where I could and do my bit to ensure that children attending this school reach their full potential.
What would you say are some of the differences between being the homeschool liaison and now being the principal?
The admin, yeah. So that's the key one. Yeah, like I loved homeschool because it involved meeting people, and I love people, and I still love people. But unfortunately, my new role probably means that I get to meet people less, and I'm involved in more administration, which is important, and that's a privilege as well in its own right. Yeah.
What are some of the things you hope to bring in as principal?
So restorative practice, we've started that process, and restorative practice is a whole school cultural change whereby we try to outweigh the number of negative interactions with positive ones, and it's about where conflicts exist, finding solutions to it. So it's entirely solution focused, and it's a whole school cultural change which involve principal, the deputy principal, teachers, students, the secretary, everybody working together to live and work in community.
If you could add any subject to the school curriculum, what would it be?
Philosophy. Probably answered too quickly there, but I love philosophy. And philosophy and theology would be one of my kind of key backgrounds, like, you know. So, and I think it's a wonderful discipline in terms of training the mind and opening up young people to new ideas. So if I could, I would definitely add philosophy to it, yeah.
As principal, what would you say is the phrase you say most often?
When I was in school, when I was teaching, my students kept on saying that I use the word basically over and over again, so it became like a catchphrase. So I probably use basically a lot, I'd imagine. Yeah.
How long have you been in the school?
Almost 25 years.
And what would you say is
Don't look it.
What would you say is the most important part of school and like the education system? The most important aim, I think, is bringing about the full growth of the person, the student involved, like, and also the well-balanced, rounded development through exposure to education. So here we have the academic, which is very important, and the results very recently were outstanding. 1 in 5 students got over 500 points. But in addition to that, we have a very rich kind of cultural heritage as well. So music is very important in the school, and students benefit massively from that in terms of their own personal development, and of course the sporting aspect of it as well, which I know has been reduced as a result of COVID. But I was just passing the P Hall there, and there were over 20 students inside there signing up for Camogie, which is great to see. So we'll get that up and running again. I didn't see you down there at all. You'll have to we'll get you back playing again as well.
Okay, so we hope you enjoyed this short little podcast, just getting to know the principal and vice principal.
I thought it was really interesting, especially to see what Mr. O'Shea hopes to do in the future.
Thanks for listening.
Bye. So we asked them...
It's recording.
Sorry.
Laura. It's difficult.
Laura loves laughing at that.
Oh, thanks for listening. Bye.
Laura, you start.
Sorry, I
Wait,
forgot.
let me scratch my head.
I'm getting a little... Okay, but we can just stop it there.